My name is Morgan Kime Lopez, and welcome to the 6th grade exhibition. For the first part of this project, we participated in the debates. There were 3 sections to the debates. First, each group had an opening statement. An opening statement is where each group says what type of energy they are and why the government should invest in them. After each group spoke, there was the rebuttal round. The rebuttal round is where each group gets 6 chips and each chip represents 1 question. You could ask a question, for example, solar. What do you think about the fact that solar energy is really expensive? Lastly, there was the closing statement. Each group got a minute to summarize what their energy is and why we should invest in them. It's similar to the opening statement. My energy was propane. Propane is a clean-burning fossil fuel. It does not pollute the air like coal or natural gas. However, it is a non-renewable energy source. For this debate, wind won. They were very well prepared and they deserved it.
Hydropower can be used on almost any water source if it's large enough. It doesn't affect the ecosystem largely because there's fish ladders which allow fish to get up and downstream without hurting themselves and to breed better. There's also tidal power, which is another form of hydropower, which is where you put these turbines out at sea, and as the water goes back and forth with the tides, it spins the turbines and generates electricity.
So in your opinion, would you recommend hydropower as an alternative for tomorrow's energy?
Yes, I would.
We're cool. Yeah, you dig into the ground. We're cool. We were lost, now we're found. We're cool. From the dead fossil plants. We're cool. Now we live in power plants. We're cool. We heat water and give light. We're cool. When it comes to petroleum, it's no fight. We're cool. Don't go with Andy. We're cool. We're too cool and handy. We're cool. When you ain't doing nothing. We're cool. Hydro, you always front. Cool. Hey, yo, uranium. You know we're your friend. Uranium. It's never gonna bend. Uranium. More use than titanium, petroleum. Don't even try to hate on them. Whoa! Wait. To all your renewables, call. We just made a fool of you.
Which energy source did your group debate, and why do you think it would be a good investment for tomorrow?
My group debated on coal, and it is a good investment for tomorrow because even though coal pollutes the air, at least the power plants and factories are working hard to keep the pollution out.
And in your own opinion, is there a better energy source for tomorrow?
Yes.
And what would those be, or what would that be?
Well, I would like hydropower and hydropower and wind.
Biomass is a renewable energy source that is made from anything that was once alive and trash.
And do you think that the U.S. should invest in it for a better tomorrow?
I think so.
And what are your reasons?
Well, some pros or advantages to biomass are it can be used for fuel, and it turns into ethanol, which is a better fuel source. It can be found anywhere in the U.S. because it's trash or trees, and you can find trees all over the country. Biomass is abundant because there's a lot of trash and there are a lot of trees. Biomass makes electricity and heat just like coal can. But some disadvantages are it has odors and it's hard to store and transport.
Thank you.
If I was in the Congress or government, I would invest in uranium or maybe solar. First, the sun is 4.5 billion years old, and scientists believe that the sun is gonna last for 5 or 4.5 more billion years. So we need to invest in something that's economical. And I know that solar panels cost a lot of money, but if we invest now, our energy, we would have a lot of energy, and there would be no more greenhouse gas houses that would be trapped in the ozone layer. Second, uranium. I know uranium has disadvantages of radioactivity, but it's not that bad because uranium also known as nuclear energy, causes zero pollution, and if it gets to you, you would only have cancer. But the bright side is that there is not a very good possibility that it can touch you, because after people use uranium, they put it in these barrels and they make reservoirs very deep underground.
Nuclear. It would be a good investment for tomorrow because it produces a lot of energy and it's relatively cheap. And if you put a bunch of precautions around it, then there's little chance of the radiation escaping. And on the downsides, of course, there's nuclear waste.
And Cameron, which energy source did your group debate, and why do you think it would be a good?
Nuclear, and it's the same as his, but
We're in the same group.
yeah,
Okay.
it's the best because it might be expensive to build the power plant, but once it's built, uranium is very cheap. It might have a downside of nuclear waste, but they have a way of taking care of it. And that way is they dig really deep holes and then line them with concrete and then put them in these nuclear barrels so that the radioactivity cannot escape the barrels, and then they fill the hole with the nuclear barrels.
Great.
I think wind because it's clean and it's really cheap. It's clean because no fuel is burned, so no gases are released into the air, so it's good for the environment. And it's cheap, so the U.S. can invest more in it, and it can make more of an impact on the Earth.
And if you had a choice, is there another wind or another energy source that you would invest in, or that you would suggest that the U.S. invest in?
Solar, because it's another clean energy source, and it's it's renewable, so we won't run out of it.
Well, I necessarily don't think it's the best because it's not the cleanest fuel. But if I'd have to say, I think that people should invest more on how to make it better for the environment and for people.
For the second part of this project, I am in the wind turbine group. In this group, we get to build and design the most energy-efficient turbine. My group decided on using 3 blades, with the fan on high and the blades to be short, because those variables produce the most electricity. It was my job to find the advantages/disadvantages of wind energy. Some advantages are the cost of wind energy has come down by 80 through 85% since the 80s. Wind energy doesn't create pollution, and wind energy is available around the world. Some disadvantages, though, are wind turbines make a lot of noise. Wind turbines and wind farms are big, and they take up a lot of space. And even though the cost of wind energy has come down a lot, turbines and wind farms can be very expensive. I've learned a lot from this project, and it has been a lot of fun.
Hi, I'm Maya, and for the More Energy project, I was in the Powerhouse Group. Our job in the Powerhouse Group was to build and construct a house that can run on all renewable energy sources and sustain life on Dragon Island. Our 3 main energy resources were hydropower, solar energy, and wind. All 3 of these sources were major contributors to running our powerhouse.
Hi, I'm Jamie, and I was also in the Powerhouse Group. Another part of this project was doing experiments and doing build-its to teach us about solar energy, wind, and hydropower. The build-its were when we built different pieces of the house and used them to construct our experiments. Finally, we did our experiments. The experiments were a very important aspect because they are a part of the project that taught the Powerhouse Groups our science concepts. Thank you, and we hope you enjoy our 6th grade exhibition.